Everybody, what's up? It is me again, Jaquilla McFarley. I'm gonna stop saying my full name like this is like an interview, but it's me. Welcome back. Like, share, subscribe, do everything you're supposed to do. Click the video, share this link with somebody because we are in a new series and it's gonna get deep. It's gonna get deep. I have a very, 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 very special guest here with me today. Now, we're in the season of tough conversations. So my first guest is someone very, very, very special to me. Welcome, my mother.
Thank you.
Mom, Angela
Hello.
Harris. This is my mom.
Hi.
My mom who I get my everything from. So how you doing?
I'm good. Nervous, but I'm good.
Nervous? I'm nervous too, Mom.
You nervous?
I'm real nervous about
I'm
this
good,
whole thing.
though.
That's good.
Blessed. We blessed.
Everybody's blessed. So, me and you, I was your first baby
Yes.
at age 16. But you got more children. It's
Yes.
me. You have four. It's four of us.
Yes.
It is four of us. Me being the oldest. You got 3 girls and 1 boy.
Yes.
3 girls and 1 boy. So I'm just gonna get started because I don't have no icebreaker question.
Okay.
And it's gonna get real, real, real deep.
Okay.
I'm so happy you came, first of all.
Yes, I'm excited.
You excited? You excited?
I'm excited.
I'm glad you came. Thank you for
Yes.
coming. For real. So I got some opening questions
Okay.
for you. Now, the point of this. So, if you read my book, or if you were on the very first season, episode 1, I gave the rundown of my whole life, my whole entire life. So you can go back and visit that. But me and my mom had a tough relationship here and there, as me growing up. But I wanted this conversation to be more of like, I wanted to get your perspective of things. Because, I made the mistake when I was young and just didn't understand and listening to other people and not coming to you about your own story. Just pointing the finger, but I never asked you why or where your headspace was at or what was going on with you at that time. Just very selfish, just selfishly in my pain, all of that. So I stopped playing the blame game and I'm like, we already had a conversation a while back. So we had a conversation about, and that conversation was good. I found out stuff I did not know. I'm like, oh man, ain't nobody told me that. Nobody told me that. It's just like, now I'm coming to the source, my mother. So first, I want to know what your childhood was like. What was your relationship with mom and dad separately?
Separately?
What was it like?
I was a rough kid. Very rough.
Rough like what?
Elementary. Started off as a little get along gang. Everybody, if you make good grades, you couldn't be in the gang. And come to find out, everybody in my gang was making good grades. So that cut off short. I got a lot of whoopings from my mom. My dad whooped me once in my life, so I was really, really spoiled.
Your whole life, one time?
One time. My whole life. I mean, he whooped all of us one time. He always, raised his voice and stuff, but we only got whooped one time. But I got whooped the most by mom, so I always felt like, she's against me, and she always whooping me, and I run from her, and she'd run behind me, and
Yeah.
that was a funny story, but
yeah,
we're not gonna get into that. But she loved me, and I just didn't realize it. But back to the childhood, we never were street runners. We always church. Sunday school, middle, night service, revivals, YPWW, choir rehearsal, Me, my sister, and two of my cousins. We were in a quartet group, so it was always church.
I can't stand quartet.
I love it.
Oh, I can't stand it.
But see, by me growing up on it
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
were in it, I mean, I love it. I fell in love it. I fell in love with it. So, it was always church. Dad built basketball goals. We had volleyball. We had tetherball. We had rabbits. We had turtles, dogs. So everything we needed, it was there at the home. I mean, it was enough land for us to play and run and everything. So the childhood pretty much was good. I was touched when I was smaller by one of my best friend's uncles.
Around what age?
It was really young. I would say about 7 or 8. I'm not sure the age. I'm not gonna.
Around that time.
Yeah, it was estimated around that time, and she was actually raped. So that's when I came more protective of myself and everything. That's my childhood. So
Oh, it started there when you became
started.
more.
It started at my childhood.
What by protective do you mean? That's when you became more of like a fighter, and not so much physical, just like a guard up, like
So
defense.
much a fighter.
Some, yeah.
Aggressor. I was
Aggressor.
Yes, that's. I'll say that word. I was more,
Aggressive.
more aggressive. I always wanted to protect myself as well as my siblings. So my mom and dad, I always wanted to protect them, like
Very protective
right,
of yourself and the
and
stuff you cared about.
and the people right surrounding me, especially my family.
So I want to know the whole rundown. Tell me about the day you found out that you were pregnant with me. Do you remember?
Me and your dad was dating. We
And
were
y'all
dating.
was 16 and 17.
Yeah, we were dating like a year, 9 months before then. We was already dating, and I was in the 9th grade. It was summer, and everybody used to come to the house. Mom had 3 jobs. We was working, rolling paper.
Rolling the newspaper.
Selling Avon.
Selling
We
Avon,
always
yep.
did that when we was young. She always made us make our own money. So we was always in the habit of making our own money as independent women, and my brother as a man. So we were dating, and he was coming around. I'll go over there to his grandma, dating.
Grandma.
We was really, into it. And
He
it was
calls
the
you his
summer.
first love.
Yes, he does. And to this day.
To this day, yeah.
Yes, he does. Actually, we went to high school the summer where I got pregnant. And when I finally found out, I told my mom and dad. It was brought up, to have abortions, and your dad wanted to kill me.
When he said, oh, when you brought up the abortion?
Yes.
He
He literally didn't. And I was like, well, aren't we too young, to, have a baby? So he'll go with me to doctor's appointments. He was always there. He got a job right on the spot. So he was working. He went to Popeyes, got a job. Went to 10 Windows and doing stuff while
he started then when you got
yeah,
pregnant?
he was starting then. I mean, he was a really good father. He really was. And he signed out applications, and he had a little blue little car. He went and got a little car, put a car seat in the back. I mean, we was prepared.
Context. I ain't know none of that. So, pre-context. Pre-context. But were you afraid? Because remember, mom and dad, well, my grandparents, your mom and dad were pastors.
I was
Because
afraid.
remember, you said y'all were in church. They were pastors, and now they have their 16-year-old and they're pregnant. Like before you went, like were you?
Afraid. Actually, I was bold, I would say, because I didn't want to hide anything at first. But I told your dad first because I was afraid, like what they'll say. You know, in those days it's like strict.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta be married.
Yeah.
You gotta be,
Married.
you know, it's a sin to have sex without being married, and you know, so it was scary. You know, and
What
dad was in the church, but he wasn't a pastor yet.
Oh no. Oh,
No.
okay. So he was just. Oh, okay.
Yeah. When we were young, you know, dad was, he was like a drinker more.
Oh, okay.
You know, had the van. He
Yeah.
come home. Dun 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 dun. We know he coming home.
Yeah.
We shoot out the door because mom was more stricter. You know, she was
Yeah.
more had things under control, and we didn't understand then that
She was more of the discipline.
right,
Disciplinary.
and dad was
more
more
the
the
fun.
yes. So we couldn't wait till he got home. So actually, I told my dad first.
Well,
Because-
wait. Well, how did my dad react when you told him?
Oh, let's get to your dad.
What did
He was like,
Jock do?
he was excited.
He was excited.
He was excited, but he was scared. I
Okay.
mean, you know, we didn't know what to do, and I was like, "Well, what you think about this?" And he, you know, snapped.
Yeah.
Like,
When you brought up the abortion.
yeah, like because it was brought up to me. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
It was brought up to me. Like, you know, won't you think you get an abortion so you want to embarrass your parents? And so I brought the abortion up to your father because it was brought to me, and I was like, abortion? I don't think so. So when I went to him, I was like, well, you know, the abortion was brought up to me about having an abortion, and he really got angry. I was like, well, I agree with you, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was like, I kill you. I'm
my
killing my
daddy
baby.
That's what he say. Okay.
That's what he said. He really, really was adamant about not getting rid of you, and I agreed with him. So we carry on, you know, we
With the
carried on
pregnant.
with
And
it.
you told your dad first.
Yes.
What was that like?
I wasn't scared because he was the fun, and you know, he just had got into church from being a deacon. I mean, he wasn't really no pastor, but mom was like in there, and dad was just like jumping in the, you know, so
okay.
he wasn't no pastor. So, we got to tell your mom. I was like, okay. So I was like, you got to go with me, you know. So we settled down. I was like, Mom, I got something to tell you. I was looking at my dad like he was gonna tell her. You tell her.
Right. Right. You tell her. Right.
And he,
So-
you know, well, Andrew got something to tell you, you know. So I ended up telling her, and you know, so it was like,
What was
what we're gonna do?
she didn't like flip out or nothing? She was.
Abortion. What's the word?
Oh, okay.
So
Sounds like she got scared.
yes. So that's where I heard from someone else, and I was like, no, let me tell your dad. And then when I brought it to my parents, and the word came up again, and I was like, no, that's not an option.
Yeah.
So I ended up telling my parents, no, this is us, you know. So let me talk to him. So dad was like, you know, but of
Yeah.
course they already knew Jock because me and him was already in a relationship. So
Yeah.
you know, they already knew him.
So wow. So after that, you went on with the pregnancy with me.
Yes, I
I
had to
want to
move
know what you had to move
to another school.
from a.
We was in Apopka High, and then when I have gotten pregnant with you, I had to move to West Side, which they had a parenting academy where
Oh,
I had to catch the bus. And then when I had you, your dad purchased a car seat because the car seat had to be on the bus.
Oh, really?
So me and you had to ride the bus together to West Side
I rode with you on the bus
every day.
to school.
Every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. It was mandatory. And at that point, we was doing the 4C had then came out. So, you know, so you was the one of the first children out of the whole academy that jumped into daycare first because I was on top of my game. But, you know, I had to take you to school with me every day. Every day.
Every day.
So by the time the summer and everything came in, before school even got out, you was in the daycare, which that was Miss Davis.
Oh, Miss Davis. I remember Miss Davis right around the corner.
Yeah.
Wow. So I didn't know that either, Mom. They didn't. I wasn't. Every day, I was with you.
Every day. It was mandatory. Like when we was pregnant, we get on the bus, go to work. Then I ultimately had you during the school year because March was still in school.
Yeah.
When I had you, we had 4 weeks, and then baby, car seat on the bus, strap down, we riding.
I want to go back a little bit. When you at the hospital, when you had me, what were you feeling when you took me home? What was that day like?
When I was in labor with you, I had to stay. You were released, of course, but I had complications. And the complications was I lost a lot of blood. When I was younger and born, my pelvis and stuff, I was a breech baby, so my pelvis and my hips and stuff, they wouldn't spread for me to actually have you. So they had to quickly do a cesarean. So your dad got mad again. He was there the whole time. He got mad again because he couldn't go into the operating room, which no parent can't go into the operating room. So they gave him a chance, after you came out, to come in with the gown, to hold you. But he couldn't come in, but he was worried because I was losing a lot of blood. I was literally. So after I had you, you were fine, your weight, and next thing you know, I was out and I had to have a blood transfusion.
What?
2 to 3 bags.
You want to know what I was told? It's going to be tough. I was told my daddy was not there. And I wasn't told none of that.
Your dad was there.
You know where it started for me, what they told me?
Your dad actually left work. He was at Popeye's Chicken. He left work, came in. He was upset he couldn't go in the operating room. But of course, they're not going to have parents because it's a lot of people in the operating room. So he was upset because he couldn't go in the operating room. But he was there the whole time. Labor. I was in labor with you like a full day.
A whole day?
Because of the complications, and they was wondering like, all right, then I'm stuck on 7 centimeters. I couldn't because of my pelvis. Yes. So they was like, okay, emergency, but your dad was there the whole time.
What was the experience like during pregnancy? Did you have bonding moments? I'm very curious. Like with me in your stomach.
Yes, I did.
Because that was your first time. So
yes, I was scared, but I did. Ain't nobody gonna take her, and I was protective, and actually, when I found out you were a girl, that's when I was like, ain't nobody gonna touch her because what had happened to me. Nobody's not gonna. We were very protective, so that's when the car came in. We got the car seat. And we had to get an extra car seat for the bus. That's when Mom moved me to a whole nother school. And I was like, I went to another school. I went to cry. Because my emotions, anyways. But I was scared.
So he was there. So
the whole time.
That's a perspective I didn't know. And then I didn't know you went through all of that. I knew you had a cesarean. This is C-section. I knew you had that. But I didn't know Blood. I didn't know you stayed after me. After I had got released.
You didn't go nowhere.
I was with you.
Yeah, actually, couldn't nobody take you nowhere. I wasn't playing that. So you ended up staying with me, but you were able to get released. So, she stays
stays.
here. I'm here. She's here with me. So you stayed with me, and I had to stay an extra 2 days or something.
And I was there.
Right beside me.
Right.
No nursery, no none of that.
No.
So your dad was too.
My dad was there too.
He had to go to work and
come back.
He was there.
Yeah. Well, that does something for my heart. So you got me. I'm born. I'm here. 94.
Yes.
1994. It was Tuesday.
It's gonna get tougher.
So you got me. You take me home. Now I know the perspective, as in that you were touched as a little girl. I didn't know that. That's pretty much family, if you think about it.
Yeah, because I was raised up with,
we was all right there.
Raised up.
So you go through, you bring me home. Now I'm going to school with you. Didn't know that. So I have I've gotten different answers at this part. When did my grandparents come in? And I was just like,
your grandparents, because they
did. That's what I want to know.
Both sides, or
no, I was raised.
When they
when they came in, when was that? Like, what? How did that happen?
Because after I graduated from high school, which you were 5.
I was 5. Okay.
You was 5. No, you was 4. So, but it was about 5 and a half, and that's when I had Antonesia. So it was around that time when they really like stepped in. Right.
But before that, because by then you and my dad weren't together, right?
No, because after I left West Side, you was going to school and you ended up at Miss Davis. When I left West Side, I ended up at Wymore. And then instead of going back to Apopka High. Mm-hmm. So I went to Wymore. That was 10th grade. 11th grade, actually. Like 11th grade. 10 and a half or something like that. But because I was at Wymore like a year and a half, 2 years. So your dad ended up talking to someone else. That's how your brother came in. And then her ended up
getting into it.
Yes.
He cheated on you.
Yes. So
and had my brother.
Right. And me and her ended up getting into an altercation where they were about to kick me out of school, but I was a big athlete. Mm-hmm. So
what you played?
Track, basketball, volleyball. I played everything. So I was real well known. Mm-hmm. But when I did start Wymore, next thing you know, my brother ended up coming. Your dad ended up coming. His cousins. So it was like it looked like the whole of Apopka was following me to Wymore.
Wymore, yeah.
And it was actually, and all of us ended up riding the same bus. So, we were still together, but he ended up cheating on me with a girl from Eatonville. And what really, got to me, and she had the baby, and the baby was born on my birthday.
Yeah, my brother's birthday is your birthday.
It really just did something mentally for me because, me and him was together, and I did get a little overweighted, after you was had. So he veered off. So I snapped. Basically. Yeah.
On him or her? Both?
Both, but I was targeted at her, which was wrong first. Because when I got to Wymore, everybody knew that we were together, and I felt like she just wanted to test me, and because didn't nobody really want your dad. Like, idiot.
I'm not editing that.
Like, you know.
My dad told me the other weekend, he said, I was lame. Your mama put me in the game. He know. So
No, I'm just being for real. Like, he was like, but he was laid back. He was cool, but he was always laid back. Like,
he still is.
yeah, like calm, collect, like,
Shy.
you know.
He was shy.
So the swan came in, and you know. So then when I got with him, it looked like everybody wanted to be with him.
Yeah.
Once he was with me, and then when we ended up at another school, you know, he ended up with somebody else, and then having a baby, and then
on your birthday. First cheated, then the baby on your birthday.
And then I was just, and then
So
she beat up, and then I was called the Mike Tyson of the school, but that's irrelevant. But they did want to kick me out of there, but by me being, you know, a bit athlete, and you know, I was doing a lot of things at the school, they suspended me, you know, a few days. And then girls had their babies coming to the school because we had a parenting academy there also.
At Wymore?
Right. But I entered that academy because I had you, but you was already in daycare, so you was special.
So would you say that moment when my dad like stepped out, and then everything else that came after, is that when you kind of
veered off? Yeah, but not then, because I knew I had to graduate from school. I knew I had to get a diploma. And I knew that I wanted something for you to look at and be like, oh, my mama had a baby, and at least she graduated, you know. And when I finally graduated, it was the club time for me. Like, to where,
did it just start? Or what it was just you just wanted to
I just wanted to just like go out, and then just like,
because you were cooped up with a baby for about 5 years. You were.
But at the same time, what I used to do, I'll bathe you, get you fed up, sweet talk one of them. All right, cool, enough sleep. You'll be enough sleep. You'll be in 8 days fed up, you know. Then I'll be like, the club was down the road, so boom, I could come right back. We'll chill outside, you know. So 2 houses down from the house, I can walk to the club and come back.
Club dudes.
You good. I trust you with my parents. So then it got a little more. Okay, I'm going to Zellwood, from this club to another club, and another club. And then come back 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's time for you to get almost wake up from, I had to get up. I had no choice. My mom them didn't just say, oh, let us go in there and just let us sleep. Oh, no. I had to get up, get you ready for school, walk you to Phyllis Wheatley, because we didn't have no buses. And that's when you was school age. And, you know.
Elementary. Yeah.
Right. And we could walk right there to Phyllis Wheatley. So.
Yeah, it was down there.
I had to get you dressed, and, you know. And then one of my brother's girlfriend, you know, hey, do my baby hair, Keisha. Auntie Keisha. That's how you start getting your hair done. I used to get her come over because I wasn't good at hair. So I'll, you know, come do my baby hair. And so that's how you start getting your hair done. And I'll walk you to school and come on back and go to work at Arby's. Had to get a job, you know, so.
So, I didn't know that.
Even when you were little, I know we keep skipping. When you were little, I used to get your stroller. Me and your auntie T90, we used to walk down. They had finna start the bike trail. And when I walked down Robinson, I had to walk you to your doctor's appointments. All your shots, all your physicals, I did. That wasn't my mom, though. That was me. When your dad was working, or, you know, sometimes I get his car when he's not, but I just let him go ahead and go to work. I could walk her I was kind of flipped. So I just get the stroller,
You
me
flip,
and
yeah.
you, Auntie Tinana, we gone. Because the clinic wasn't that far either.
Yeah, it
So
used to be all in
one
one little
little,
setting from the
right,
bike trail. I remember
right,
the bike trail.
right. So I had to. I had to. I mean, my parents just didn't let me throw a baby on them. That's not what it was.
So I'm in elementary. Did your like the because you said you were clubbing by this time? Did it intensify? Was it as I got older, or what was it?
Uh,
Would you
yeah,
consider your past life a street life, Mom?
yes.
What
Well, not my, let's see, not the younger, but when I got older and
older?
graduated,
After
yes.
that, yeah,
Yes, I did. I
street
did.
life.
I was really horrible. I would say, I would say, I wouldn't say horrible, because I always had a good heart, but I was like more protective and aggressive in boundaries, you know. Um,
Like defensive walls, or
yes,
what you mean by
not
boundaries?
like, this is my group.
Ah,
Okay, and then this group over here, all right, and then they come start something because I never was a bully. But they'll have to start something with us for us to be fighting, and so that I think that's what made me more street, like,
the fighter when that
right,
started.
right, and then drinking and partying, smoking weed, it got more intenser,
Intense, yeah. What?
not
Yeah.
intenser,
No,
but
it's so it intensified. So, what do you remember? You probably don't remember the like around what moment it intensified. Was it I was in middle school? Was it after elementary? Because the more it intensified, the more
I got worse.
yeah, the more apart we were.
Part with yes, cause in my mind I'm like, okay, I'll take her to her daddy, you know, and she'll be safe. I'm thinking that you were safe over there, just like you was at my home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't the case. And when you told, I don't want to cry, but when you told me that, I mean, it really dug in my soul because I'm the protector. I mean, that wasn't supposed to happen to you. And by me not being there, which it was my fault. You know what I'm saying? I put the fault on me because you didn't have to go there. But by me trying to be like, okay, this your dad. Yeah, they family. Like, but they family, not all of them. But the grandmother, the grandfather, your dad,
Yeah.
those people loved us. They took us in. We skipped school over there.
You skipped
Good.
school over there.
Yes. I mean, one of them they come in school. Me, your dad, and his cousins was a bit time brother.
Yeah.
All us. Oh man, we balling. So I'm thinking it's cool to like, okay, my baby's good.
That was gonna be my next question. I was
Oh,
gonna
I done
ask you.
jumped
No,
in.
you did that. No, I was gonna ask you what it felt like when you read all of that in my book. Because
Cause it
just
was hurtful. It was hurtful, and I kind of was like, dang, I should have just told her more, like about what was going on when you were younger. Like I should have, brought more to your attention, like more.
because they were telling your story wrong,
Yes,
and I believed it, and
but
which caused me to like have a. Why am I emotional too? But have a
like a wall. I would say like a
but it was
wall.
a specific wall for you. It was like a specific wall for you because it's like from my memory, because I don't remember a lot after certain ages. It's like
Right, right,
from my memory, I'm corroborating what they're saying. It was like, okay, she in and out, she in the club. I saw you the next morning, and you didn't like ignore me or nothing like that. You were there. How was your day? Well, you were there, but from what they were telling me and from what I remember, I didn't. I'm like I didn't see much of a lot of my mother, but she was around.
yeah.
So
I wasn't interacting more with you. To me, you know what I'm saying? Like you can be there but not interactive. All right, yeah, let's go to the store. Yeah, all right, and dropping you off. That's not, that's not enough interactive. Yeah, let's go get our hair done. I did do that. All right, Hama, you say you taking Quilla well? Shoot her
here's the
money. Yeah, and that's not interacting personally, mother and daughter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, going to get your hair done, and man, you go get our hair done, and
Clothes. And
yeah,
I didn't see none of that stuff. I
but
wanted to see you.
right. But see, by me just like, come on, let's go, and throwing you in a buggy, that's not and a lot of it is my fault because I'm thinking I didn't know how to love. I didn't. The person I thought loved me did me like that. Oh, that's how I love.
Just like
I'm
that.
thinking like, when your dad didn't, but my parents didn't do me like that. But it was stuck in my mind, so stuck in my mind on your dad. Okay, this how you love. Just do them like that, and oh, that's love. So it's really my fault because I didn't know how to love. You know, young and then didn't know how to love or know how to care or I'm thinking caring is taking you to the doctor.
Giving me what I need.
What you needed
Just
instead of like the want from me. So that was a mistake on my part, as being young, so
16 is just. I can't imagine. I was in the house. I wasn't worried about. What you had to worry. I wasn't worried about at 16, and I think I didn't. That part didn't hit me until I was much older. Like my mom was 16, and then I go back to when I was 16. I'm like, I wasn't mentally competent. There was no way I would have been a good mother or anything like that because you still a child.
and
You
see,
know.
and to me, I'm like, well, I'm trying, but then when I get older, I still get younger in the mind. I'll just say it like that because to me, that's younger in the mind. You should get wiser as you get
Wiser.
older.
Okay.
But as I was getting older, I was getting more foolish to me because I started drinking. I wasn't drinking, I was working. Guess what? Go to the club, get you ready. I go to work. Go, come back, do the same thing like it was a routine. And, now I see.
Oh, it's okay, Mom. It's okay. It's all right. Oh,
But I always loved you. So
darn it. Here I go.
that never it was my intention to not feel like I wasn't loving you. But I always loved you. It's just, it was a different love to where that I'll be one of just like, hey.
Yeah.
And now that part is like, it's hard, like, it's not hard for us to admit now, but now we're growing. But this should have been happening when I was holding you in my stomach and like, oh, ain't nobody taking my baby, And it faded away. I'll say, I wouldn't just blame your dad,
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame myself too because that shouldn't have threw me off from
That's-
still having that connection with you. And you looked like him and you look like your daddy. And then I still just like, come here, baby. I'm still there, but I'm not there. And it wasn't fair to you,
So, me too.
I knew it.
So I wasn't, but yet the abuse started at 5, and then went on from there. And
That's when I started going out. See?
yeah, that's why I'm putting it together. I'm like,
I'm
that's
sorry,
when
I'm cutting you off.
that's when you started like going
Going
out. Really.
out.
When I was in
'Cause
daycare, I was good. Or
that
you felt
would
that I
have
was
never
good.
happened if I was still there. That wouldn't have never happened. Because
I see how it hit you though, because but when you started being defensive and protective at 7 or 8. Then you got a baby and you swore to me in your stomach. Oh, it's a girl. Nah, the hospital. Nah, she not. She's staying with me. So that is a deeper blow because you didn't know, and I wasn't. You couldn't. So
I could have. I just, in my own mind, she's safe.
because she was with
Yeah.
dad and they were safe.
And then your dad would be going out and he wouldn't even be there. So
Yeah.
both of us going out and but you with your grandparents. So I'm like, okay, maybe she good. It's just, I'm going to talk about me. I was wrong. And that's when it started. That's when I started going out. So I'm feeling like it's my fault, because I'm like, uh-oh.
I said, no, you're fine. I see you
Like,
take that blame. I see that. So, Mom, you remember when when you was with the guy, he had a lot of kids, because I don't want to say names on the, he's deceased now. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He had a lot of kids.
Yes.
And that man had a lot, he had a lot of kids. But y'all were like seriously together. And the one day I went over there, you remember, I used to, when I got hit by a car, I used to blame you.
I always blame the girl who hit you. Every time I see her, I want to fight her. Mm-hmm. We're not saying any names, but maybe about 10 years ago, it stopped.
10 years ago?
Maybe 10 to 12 years ago, it stopped. Mm-hmm. With me, every time I see her.
You ready to?
Yeah, man, it was me and her. Mm-hmm. Wherever I seen that. So one day she went and told her sister, she was like, I'm just tired of Angie just coming to me. That was a long time ago. I hear her, baby. It was going on for years. Mm-hmm. Every time I see her, she had to give me one. She'll go the other way.
Move your hair, Mom. That way. But she would go.
Yeah, I want to really get her paid.
Put it behind you.
Even though it was an accident, every time I see her, I just want to
fight. And it stopped only 10 years ago. It's not that long.
Maybe about 10 to 12 years.
I don't remember the year it happened. I just know
you was little.
8 or 9, 7 or 8, something like that.
Yeah, you was little.
What do you remember about that day?
You was on a bicycle. And we was just out here.
But from your perspective, what were you feeling? What was that day like for you?
I was confused and mad because she hit you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm thinking it's her fault. You don't see this kid driving on the bicycle, so I was angry with her. It wasn't nothing, against you, of course.
Yeah.
Because my kids I always had good kids. I mean, I never had no street runners running around with guns and all that stuff. Oh, no. I always had good kids, so I feel like it was her fault. Mm-hmm. You don't see a kid on a bicycle, there's something wrong with you. Hold on, get out the car.
Yeah, and wow.
Yeah, that same day. And every time I seen her for years,
you had that same feeling.
Yeah,
just like it was fresh.
Like I couldn't break that thing with her, and you was grown. Mm-hmm. I couldn't break that thing with her running you over. Like it was my fault that you got ran over.
Mm-hmm. I remember you after I remember briefly. You came running. You came running. I ain't gonna never forget it. You came running to me because I wasn't that far.
No, you wasn't that far away from us.
Somewhere. I don't even know how it happened or how she even. I don't remember. But
I think she wasn't paying attention or looking at the phone or something. Because you was on the side of the road. You wasn't even in the middle.
Yeah.
So I was upset about that, and she had to be on the phone or something.
I used to speak to her when I came to like a pop-up, and she would be so shocked, like, why is this girl speaking to me? Does she know, or does she remember? And I'm like, yeah, I remember. I
And she
mean,
started, like, Angie, you gotta let this go, for years.
you wouldn't.
Oh no, it was gonna be a fight.
I didn't know that. And you were at the hospital. The one thing about the hood, funny plug, wasn't nobody outside.
No.
And then when I got hit, you hear, oh, and then everybody, I said, oh my God. The whole hood was there. Seemed like in 2 minutes. I'm like, what?
They came fast.
They came
I wanted to make sure I was there first.
Yeah, came running.
And I used to come run.
Yeah, and my daddy was right around the corner doing somebody car. I don't know. He came. So that bred anger against that lady.
Yeah.
And I didn't know you still were
A long time, years.
long time.
Even when you were grown.
Did you see her a lot?
Yes.
You saw her a lot too.
Like spouts, not like every day or maybe like once or twice a month. Oh, you hit my baby, you still on that edge. So one day we just like, I was like, you know what? I forgive you. You know.
You told her that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Finally. But I had to break that because it's gonna take your energy if you still stuck on that, So.
You know what I was told? Because this is about perspective. I was told that because she had a beef with you or something, that's why she hit me.
No. She was on the phone or something.
It was an accident.
Yes. Yeah, she didn't have a beef with me. She had a beef with me
afterwards. Yeah. That definitely.
Yeah, it was no beef with us. No.
But it was. You believe it was an accident? She wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, she wasn't paying attention. It was actually accident.
An accident.
It was.
So we go along. Now, Mom, I want to ask you, because you said this on camera that you saying it. Did you tell your mom and dad?
No. And I regretted it when my dad died because I felt my dad would have killed him. So when he died, I was like, I should have told my dad. Should have told someone. It never came out. Just me and my best friend shared it.
So
I didn't tell, and I wanted to tell Dad and Mom.
What made you not? You scared?
Yes, and I had so much tension against him. Till the man died, he was dead, and I still had it in,
Yeah.
balled up in me like, oh, I wish.
Yeah.
But some things you just gotta let go, or it's gonna bound you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how you feel about saying it now? Because now you're just saying
to the world.
Yeah, to the world. How you feel?
Actually, I feel better, relieved.
That's good.
I feel relieved because it's out. I don't have to hold something in to where, all right, this is a secret. I don't want anybody to know. So I'm in high school now. What was going through? Because by high school, me and you really... The dress you wore, I contribute to that.
What dress?
That purple dress. With
prom. Oh, you skipped the 12th grade.
Oh, well, what? Oh, the 9th grade.
You skipped all the way to prom.
Because I remember that. You was beautiful, honey.
Yeah, that was something. Oh, yeah. You had Antonesia 5 years when I was 5.
Yeah.
What was that like, though? And we're going to be skipping around. It's a lot. This sipping.
Yeah, because we got to get
Gosh.
Yeah. When Antonesia was born, Antonesia stayed with us a little bit, and then she moved with her grandmother. Back and forth. And I was over there back and forth. So I was in her life also. And I always felt like I know she felt some type of way because she wasn't even there in the home with us, you know.
Yeah.
But I never thought about how y'all felt, you know. So
And
I
then,
did speak to her when she was grown, you know, when she got older. You know, I was like, I'm sorry. She was like, Ma, I know what's going on. You know, we did have a conversation. Like, man, you did. So, you know, I feel better when I talk to my kids because I feel open with y'all. If y'all be like, I'm not just going to be like, let me come to you and say this, say this. But if y'all be like, Ma, what happened with? And I'll be like, hey, listen.
yeah.
You know, that's how I am with my
Yeah.
kids. But I never would be the one to come to you guys first. But this particular time with her, I did. Because she was there with us, but she wasn't. She
Yeah.
was always,
In and
she'll
out.
go to daycare way over there with her grandmother and then
Yeah.
over here with us and then back and forth. So I really felt some type of way about you and her. You know what I'm saying? You know, and y'all but sweetest, y'all the sweetest. I mean, I have the sweetest children. I do, and
And
and I
then,
know y'all feel some type of way. You know
yeah.
about me. Oh well, she done gave one away, and this one right here over here with her mama. You know, so people were talking, and I just, you know, me being the aggressive one
It
I
made you
am.
angry.
Yes,
It did.
very angry. But I couldn't get angry with them. I didn't do nothing about it but talk trash, took care of y'all. More money, you know.
And went out. Did what you did. When did Sky come? What was that
2
like?
years after Antonisha.
What was that like?
More children. More money. So I ended up with 2 jobs with Sky because I knew I had to take, you know,
More. It's three of us now.
more responsibility because I still was taking care of Antonisha. Make sure the house over here good. I'll take her grandmother. Let me go take her grandmother shopping for her. You know, uh, it got a little rougher with Sky, but then I had to be more bound down, not bound. More home,
Okay, more at home. Yeah.
home, right,
Because me and Sky were in the home together.
right,
We were by
right,
our grandparents.
right.
Your mom and dad.
Mom, that right,
She was in the house with me.
right. So and then King came,
Yep, my brother.
and that was 9 years later. And yeah, King 9 years.
Well,
Yeah,
what was that like? A sign.
but by then, I said enough is enough. Ain't no more children need to be
No more kids.
children.
Sure. Right.
So I was like, okay. 9 years later, I'm still having. I'm further. I need to. Okay, enough is enough. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I was working with Granddad. By the
Cutting the
time,
grass.
yeah. When I had Sky, I was at the Roost plants and working at the side and still trying to club at the same time, but it was getting tiresome,
Yeah.
you know. So when I had King, I slowed down a lot, a lot, a lot. So I was like, I still have 3 other kids besides my son, you know. So, you know,
So you remember I was in high school, and you remember when I got sick?
yes,
Had
and I wasn't
tuber-
there like I supposed to be.
yeah,
I was so hurt.
tuberculosis. Really, you was hurt by that? I
I
was
was
gonna ask
hurt.
you your perspective of it.
Oh
I didn't see
man,
you a
I
lot,
was really hurt.
but you know what made up for that? I don't even remember you not being there. Well, you know it. You probably don't remember this experience, but you were at the hospital one day.
I did come.
Yeah, and you know at that time, I was in bad shape.
Yes, you
My
was.
lung was. I was in because I had pneumonia too.
And that part, I didn't even know you were about dead.
I was on
And
my way
I
out.
didn't even know like
The doctors,
it was that serious
it was
until
bad.
yeah, I didn't even know that it was that serious because it was. I wasn't in contact with you like I supposed to be. For one, I'm not gonna blame anyone, and I wasn't getting the correct information.
Okay.
You know, so
Were they kind of shunning you from the information?
right.
Oh, okay.
I think they were. I wouldn't say protecting me, but I think just like they did Dad, I didn't know a lot of things that was happening to him because they're like shunned me from it, trying to protect me from, I guess,
Overreacting.
yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's what happened with you.
Around that time.
Yes, and I didn't
The severity.
understand.
It was bad. It was really, really bad. My left lung was black, because it was, and then it was bad because it was coupled with pneumonia,
And
tuberculosis, and pneumonia.
And I didn't know none of that. And I was angry because I'm like, how she get it? She don't go around nobody.
Airborne. Yeah, it was airborne.
And I was upset after I found out, like, huh? What's... And then when I came to see you, I was like, oh my gosh.
It was bad. I was in bad shape. But when you came, though, I ain't gonna never forget this experience. And I tell the story all the time. I was in the bed. I don't know what I was doing, but it was daytime. And I had to take a shower. And I wanted to do it by myself because I couldn't. Every time I tried to do something, I was weak. I couldn't do it by myself. I would faint. It was bad.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay. You was like, you want me to help you to the shower? I said, no, Mom, I got it. I was trying to prove something to you. It's like, no, I can go.
Yeah, I remember.
Got up. I did make it halfway. My adrenaline I made it halfway. And then I called for you. I said, Mom. And you came right before I hit the ground and washed me.
I remember that.
So I ain't gonna never forget. I forget that you weren't. I was like, that moment, that was priceless.
I remember
really.
that.
It was.
And then not long after that, you was getting out, and I was like, I need to go back to the hospital. She finna get ready to come home. She finna come home.
Yeah.
I was there then. Like, I want to, like, every day, let me go. But they was, they was like, I didn't know it was that serious.
It was bad. And I had to stay home. I couldn't go to school.
And when I found out it was that serious? When you was coming home, finna get ready to go back to school.
I was in the hospital a long time. Some months. That's when you found out?
That's when I found out.
See, from my knowledge, you knew the whole time and you just weren't there.
I didn't know the whole time. Not the whole time. Nope.
You just thought.
Yeah, I thought you was good. I mean, Quilla, and then
I was dying, Mom.
And I said, maybe it was probably about 2 weeks, a week and a half before you start getting a little bit. Well, that's when I started coming out. That's when I found out.
Yeah, I was dying. Man, that was crazy. And then, because Mom, okay, you have good children. Now, I can't speak for my other siblings, but when I got in high school, really middle school, I privately became a menace. I was doing a bunch of stuff that mom and dad didn't know. I was sneaking out. I started drinking at 16.
Interesting.
I was drinking by 16 out, and at that time I was where I started liking women, but I was sneaking out. I had people in the house. I was driving with no license. I was fighting in the club after 18. Now that I look back on it, I realized, because at one point I was like, man, all of us, all of your kids, we're not close because we kind of like grew up separately, but we all had that feeling of, we think Mom didn't want us. Different perspectives of it.
Right.
Oh, this is why I thought she didn't want me, or this is why we all have different reasons. But the root of it was we didn't think you wanted us. So that feeling led me to, I'm in the club, I'm drinking, I'm driving with no license, I'm doing stuff I ain't got no business. I started fighting. I got kicked out of Beecham 3 times. Club Beecham. You didn't know that. For fighting. But they always started with me.
See? I think you got that from my part.
Yeah.
You wasn't a bully.
No, I'm not a bully. Very chill but I was just angry. Just doing a bunch of stuff. But as I got in therapy and all of that, just being molested at 5, and then again at 12, and then hit by a car, and then abandonment feeling from you
Yeah.
and my dad. I had mommy and daddy issues. Quiet, being raised by pastors, uh, homosexual now. I got pregnant. I had an abortion.
I remember,
Remember?
man, you had that conversation.
And you
And
told me to keep it.
Yeah, I did.
You
I
said,
said, I
please.
will help you with this baby.
Yeah, and
Don't
I
get
got
rid
rid
of
of it. I got rid of it because I didn't want to keep going. I didn't want to become and do what you did.
What-
but
right.
by that time, I understood because I became you, Mom.
Right.
I became
And then
you.
I was thinking the reason why I told you to keep it like this will help mend us. The
You brought
baby.
the baby.
Yes, I did. That's why I was like adamant about this gonna be my first grand. You know, I was excited.
Yeah, because it would have been the first grandbaby.
Yes, I was very excited about that baby. I really wanted you to keep that baby, but then when you broke it down to me, I understood. I cried.
I don't know.
I cried. So I always said, you know, instead of 3 grandchildren, I had 4, and you know, I just lost one. I always say I have 4 grandkids.
You still claim that baby.
Hmm I mean, I'm sorry about the grandkid, but I did that because I thought that would help us mend. And I'm gonna get the baby. And I can get to work. I know how to get them in for C. You know, so I really wanted you, and I just thought that would help us as one. So I still know I had a grandbaby that, you know, will be what, about 7
Should
now?
be at 8.
8? See, I'm close. But by 8,
You kept track.
yeah. So I always knew, you know, but yeah. I have 4 grandkids. I just lost one. I don't tell anybody that you had abortion because I felt like it wasn't anybody's business. I just lost
Everybody
it.
know now. I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
but
what they've been.
from my perspective, I just lost the grandbaby. You know, I don't say, oh, the great. No, I just say I lost the grandbaby. You know, my first grandbaby. I still do.
I gotta process that.
Yeah, I do. I mean, that's just me. You know,
Yeah, and it's not a
I'm
bad
trying not to
thing.
cry.
Me too. I'm up here
I'm trying not to
holding
cry.
my eyes up.
But yeah,
Trying not to.
that's how I know. I'm like 7, 8. The baby will be
Be
about
8.
8. Yeah,
She'll be 8.
yeah.
Baby Zola. But abortion, all of that, and I grew up just like started hating you so much and just refused to deal with it, especially by the time, especially when your dad died, my granddaddy died. It was worse after that. I just wasn't out. I hid a lot from your mom because she was in the church doing whatever she wanted to do, and I was very sneaky anyway. But I did a whole bunch of stuff, and I realized, like, dang, I just became my mom. Like, and I started understanding you, but in a toxic way. Like, I know why she drank. You know, I get why, because this pain that I was trying to numb, and just I became you, Mom. Like fighting and just relationship problems, and then of course I eventually moved out, and got a roommate and all of that. But I became you, and now that I'm 31,
I'm trying to become you.
you're trying to become me. What do you mean?
As in, you grown up, yeah, like your wisdom and all that. A lot of stuff I'm learning from you, you know, as in, become your perspective person. You know,
Yeah, trying to. I see what you mean.
but I done grew up a lot, so you know.
You have,
I mean,
and
ooh,
I want
was
to
a mess.
acknowledge you really have.
A hot mess.
No, you really
More
have.
churching
Mom.
and stuff. I'm looking at your iPod. I'm like, oh wow. When you told me, I was like, I missed a lot of episodes. You know, so it's like, oh man, my daughter did this, I can do something better, with myself, so I'm learning from you also. So it's not just you, I'm growing up, I'm doing better. I'm learning. I can learn from my children as they, instead of learning all the negative and fighting and all that, y'all can learn something positive from me also.
Yeah.
As, vice versa.
So I have a few questions from your children. I asked them. They wanted me to, because I told them, I said, hey, what you got? Because, I really, it freed me when you were finally able and ready to acknowledge everything and be like, you know what? I did that. This is, and that's when you started growing. But the acknowledgement from all of us, it was like, oh man, because it's validation. I needed that validation. Like, yes, I wasn't there, but you gave me your why.
Right.
This is why I wasn't.
Right.
This is what was going on. So, and this can be for all of us, because was it, and this is, we're wrapping up. Was it, just ending questions, was it easier to send us to like our grandparents or send us to like, was it easier for you? Like, or say if you were going out or doing what you want to do, because sometimes you spent weekends.
Oh yeah.
Was it easier for you to be like,
It kind of was, but it kind of wasn't, because I always had to make sure my responsibilities was done before I left. Sometimes when I was gone for weekends, going to Miami or whatever, I made sure that was good, which is not good because I wasn't there, but it was good. I did a lot of bad things while I was gone on some of them weekends. I was robbing and I was really horrible, banks and stuff. I was horrible. So some of the weekends I had to leave because I did do something I ain't have no business here doing.
I see.
So I had to leave because, of the circumstances. I know. But
I was like, we just thought
that I'm leaving this. No, a lot of times I would do stuff just to, like I did dance, strip.
Mom.
Well, sorry.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you was I did not know that.
My parents they didn't know either, but sorry.
Mom.
So a lot of times when I did leave, I was on missions. I was on missions.
Okay. Oh, what? Okay. What do you mean by mission? What mission?
Like on 1792 they used to have like the go-go circus.
No.
No, don't say that.
No, me. No, I didn't know.
So when I did like, here you go, Mom, here you go.
That was from that?
That was from me, yes.
You were
on poles and get money. So I shoot one of them some money and I'll go back out.
Oh.
I wasn't just going out just to party.
So even when you was out there, we were your motivation.
Yes. Thanks.
Okay, next question.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I gotta process.
Convict myself, but yeah,
no, they not.
Well, yeah, I want to. I lost my baby. Hey, getting the baby, getting that money, baby.
Wow. Okay. Did you regret sending us like to our grandparents or various places? Was it every time you left to do whatever? Did you regret? Was there a regret or something, or did you
sometimes because I already knew like if I was going out to party or staying out, getting a hotel, that was my regret. Like I'm finna go party. Well, they okay, but then that would be my regret. But if I'm doing something business wise, then it was a struggle because I knew what I had to do, and then get back in time for Monday morning to get everybody to school. And get back to my main job, you know.
So this question, it might be a tough one. Do you regret having any of us?
No, I love all my children. Just
Yes.
like the stories. All my children, I love all of y'all. I don't regret having damn one of y'all. I love all y'all. Unconditionally. I know everybody each one of you have your own personality.
Yeah.
But
We're all very
I know how to
different.
deal with each one of y'all on your own personality level, and all y'all love y'all all the same, all unconditionally. Nobody no different, nobody no less.
All right.
I love y'all.
So was there ever a time you felt that you weren't good enough for us?
Yes.
Did you feel that the whole time? Or was it just sporadic?
It was sporadic because I knew I wasn't in the right place for you, you know, all four of you guys, each one of you guys. So it was sporadic, you know. But I always felt that I wasn't as good as a mother as I supposed to be, you know. Even now I know I can be better, you know. So I always know it's something better that I can do to make all four of you guys better, you know.
Well, last question, and then I have something to say to you. Tell me 3 things you want people to know about this version of you that they may not know or can't visually see.
I'm getting closer to God.
1.
I'm changing. Well, they can see I'm changing. So you say that they can't see. No,
But that's the biggest one.
that's the
You're getting
biggest one.
closer.
And I think once I get more of a relationship with God, then everything else will follow. You know what I'm saying?
It will
Like
flow.
my finances are not where I want them to be, but like people can't tell. You know what I'm saying? I don't go around just because I don't have $5 in my pocket, looking like I don't have $5 in my pocket.
Yeah.
So once I get the closer to God, you know, to get that relationship with Him, then everything else will come on and add on to it. I want to get closer with my children. That's something don't nobody know. I want to always, you know, get, you know, where I need to be with my children.
Well, Mom, and bear with me. I want to say first that I am so sorry that I had you all wrong the whole time. I'm very, very sorry. I had it wrong. I was wrong. I blamed you. I talked bad about you, just not knowing. And I'm sorry.
Okay.
It wasn't right. So hopefully you can forgive me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was wrong. You are a great woman that was dealt a bad hand. And you were there. You love us. You love me. You love all your kids. You did what you had to do. As a 16-year-old, you had pain too. You had trauma. And I wasn't very empathetic. I'm sorry about that. And yeah, I apologize. That's what I had to say. All right, I gotta go. I'm gonna see y'all on the next episode because there's a lot going on. And thank y'all for tuning in. Next week is gonna be good too. And yeah, bye.
Bye.